Okay, so I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna try to do as many features as I can in one so you don't have to watch 100 videos, but I know the reality is you could spend hours on each thing I'm about to talk about. I'm going over some real basic stuff, okay? So let's talk about effects. We'll start with that. So you have 5 effects that are easy accessible. They're right here on the front. You can just click one, boom, and go to them. This one's different for me because I changed it, by the way. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, those are your easy accessible. All the other effects exist within the M effects, and you can either pick a pad to represent corresponding effects. You can even turn this dial here to get to the effect you want. That's your ways of getting around. Of course, this is probably the easier way. It's just touching the pad you want. And then you go into the effect and make your adjustments. Okay, that's pretty much how you turn on effects. Now, you can turn on, let's say I turn this delay on, and it's not doing anything. You're like, what in the world? It's because these are, you see how they're white pads? That means they're nothing on, they're not running through any of the effects. If you hit the remain button, you can turn them on to go through the effect. When it's yellow, it's bus 1. When it's green, it's bus 2. Here, I'll show you. See, bus 2 has nothing on it, so let's put the resonator or the saturator on bus 2. Now, if I hit remain, I can change these to green. Those are running through the delay. These are running through the resonator or the saturator. Let's make that filter. Okay, so now you got 2 different things going on. However, you can, and if you hit shift 15, you'll see bus 1 is running into bus 2. So these are affected by bus 1 and 2. If they're on green, they're only affected by bus 2 and they go into 3, 4. So look, that's getting the resonator and the filter. I mean the delay and the filter. This is only getting the filter. So it's how you route it. Now, if you want to switch that, you could have them separated. Now, bus 1 is only getting the delay, right? Bus 2 is still the filter and drive, okay? So it's how you choose to route them. And when you exit out here, you can be neutral, or you can put them on green, or you can put them back on yellow. It's whatever bus you're on. So this button switches from bus to there. So if you're on this bus, whatever you touch is going to be yellow. If you're on bus 2, everything's going to be green, right? Or white if you don't want them to run through a bus. All right, so you get that? It's pretty simple to understand. All right, we're going to take these off, leave them white because I don't want them to run through anything or just my drums, okay? So that's the basis of that. Now, if you make a loop or something like that, then you can use the effects and perform with them. Otherwise, this is always your dedicated volume. This says effects control 1, 2, and 3. So when you open up an effect, the drive would be 1. Hold on. And by the way, if you want to hold it open, hit remain with it. The low would be 2 and the high would be 3. They correspond to, where they are sitting. All right, so let's turn that off, turn the resonator or the bus off. Okay, turn that one off too. So to turn them on, by the way, just so you know, like switch between them, just press the button in. But to turn it on, you go to that one and then turn it on. Then to move to the other one and you can turn it on, right? You want to turn them off, you go to that bus and turn it off. Go to that bus, turn it off. See, it's just that simple. All right. You can resample with them on and then sample into it. It's pretty self-explanatory. All right, let's talk about recording and multi-pad editing. I talked about this, I feel like, in the last video. So we're going to keep it basic this time around. I'm not going to go in depth too much with all the stuff I did in the previous video because you can watch the previous video. So let's record a pattern and then we'll talk about the editing process. We're only going to do 1 bar for the sake of time. So we're going to pick a pad. Instead of doing 2, we're just going to go 1 bar. Keep it simple. BPM is set. We're in TRX. You can be in real time if you want here or TRX. I like TRX and I'll show you why, because you can record live into TRX. And you get the editing right there on the spot. So it's like a win-win in my opinion. All right, so hit record. So you're gonna see it's gonna cycle through these 16 steps. If you're new to recording, usually drums, you got kicks on the 1 and the 3 and snare on the 2 and 4. That's real basic stuff. So let's do something like basic. To pick a trigger, you hold sub and pick the trigger. Now it's set. Now whatever you place that is going to happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 2, 2. Okay. Snare or kick, place it on the 1. 1. Right? You place it on the 3, 2. If you want to do that house stuff, right? You get it? Now, let's say you want to record in here, but you're like, man, I can't figure out which one to pick. My always suggestion is start with 7, 11, 15. Those are easy ones. You can even throw a 3 in there. Those are easiest ways to get started. So 1 through 13, this column, any of those combinations can create you a basic drum rhythm. Now, let's talk about, we're going to use the hats. The velocity up here, which I didn't show you on the first part, allows you to change to different velocities, okay? So my suggestion with velocities is use different ones on each pad. I'm going to put these all at 40. So you can do that. That's a simple pattern. If you want to ratchet something, you can use the sub step. Right? Or back to solid bar means it's just 1. Okay? Pretty simple. You want to edit these, hit edit, and then press 1. Now you can nudge them, micro nudge them with this, or change the pitch. And you can switch between them. It's pretty fast too. If you want some different, unique pitches going on. Changing the pitch and the nudge points and stuff like that can really nudge it off and get your velocities going like that. So that's your basic recording for, I'm just showing you drums because it's easier, because most people want to get their drums going first. Some people prefer to do melodies and stuff first, but all of it applies the same with regards to how you do it. It's just where you're going to place it. Are you going to nudge it a little bit? Are you going to turn the velocity down a little bit? All of those things make a difference. So really basic getting going to make a beat or a pattern or however you want to term it. All right, we showed you the editing within it too. I showed you just now how to do that. I'm not going to do motion record because they've changed some things on it, and it gets confusing to me sometimes when you do it. Sometimes it works right, sometimes it doesn't. I need to play with it a little bit more to be confident to give you how to do it. I did a video. If you go through my videos and look back at my SP stuff earlier on, I think I showed the motion record in there. So if you want to go look at that, that's fine. I may do a video on it later, but I want to be confident that I have it down to where it's useful to me, because right now it's just not useful to me. It just sounds off and weird at times. And then I'm going to watch a video myself to see if there's a video that may explain it a little bit better. Now, this is version 4.05. Just so you know, I don't want you to thinking I'm on some old version. This may be old to you if you watch this video a year later. So pay attention to when the video was recorded, because there may be new versions out when you go back and watch this that explain and if they've updated or changed something. That's the nature of, hardware, software, etc. All right, I think that's it for this video. I'm going to end it. I wanted to keep it kind of short. After you create a beat real quick, you can start doing, putting like effects on it and changing it. In order to get that really working the right way, you need to put this on a bus effect of some sort. So if the isolator is on bus 2 and you want this stuff to go through bus 2, I also suggest if you use the shift 15, let bus 1 and 2 run through each other. If you like that vibe. Okay, put the warm on. You can create some stuff and then resample that if you want, depending on what you want to do. So remain, take off the effect, put it back on, and there you go. Really simple ways to use the SP. There's your effects. There's, other things you can play around with to come up with ideas, like, for instance, reversing. So now when you play the pattern, there's some features on here I don't even want to show you, partly because they don't work well. And one of those features is the roll feature. I just feel like it doesn't work that well. It seems like it's off timing. There's the roll, and another one is the motion, because I feel like the motion is kind of like spotty. Sometimes it'll work really good. Sometimes it's not there. You're going to need to play with those things. I know that the mark, is supposed to have it. Delete mark is supposed to erase the motion, when you're in the pattern or whatever. If you hold mark down, it'll turn on the motion. But if you hit roll, it'll turn on the motion and it'll have it waiting. And once you start turning knobs, it'll do it. That's the easy way, but I don't want to show it to you because I don't feel like it works well enough to justify putting it even in the video. So that is it for this video. I kept it at 13 minutes. Unbelievable for me, in my opinion. If there's anything else you want to see, this is the basic using the SP stuff. Well, I can show you the basic stuff. When you start getting complicated things, some of it I can show you, but it depends on what you want to see. And a lot of stuff is you experimenting with the SP, I feel like, just in order to get it down to that T. All right, that's it for this video. I'm out.